Good afternoon to everyone present here with us today. This is Sriyan from IGCP, today's moderator. I would like to welcome all the viewers who have joined our platform for better exchange of knowledge that is going to be shared by our keynote speaker, Doctor, for today's session. With much pleasure and honor, let me welcome a very renowned professor, Dr. Sunil Kumar Agarwala. Sir is MBBS MD professor at the Department of Pediatrics at Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Postgraduate Institute of Pediatrics, Qatar. Now, with the help of Sir and his wonderful insight, we will be taking a close look on today's topic, which is evolving immunization landscape. What's new? What's next for kid? Now, without any further delay, let me welcome Sir again at our forum, and I would like to hand over the session to him. Over to you, Sir.
Thank you very much, Sriyan from IJCP and total IJCP team for doing this academic platform. And good afternoon, dear doctors. As we all know, that the best invention for the mankind is vaccine. And we know that prevention is better than cure. And we have a lot of diseases which were vaccine preventable disease. Let you talk of diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, whatever. The incidence and the mortality was very, very high before independence 1947. Now, because of the inclusion of this DPT component into the immunization program, the robust immunization program came into place in India in the year of 1978. That was EPI program. Then 1985, it was UIP program. So the beneficiary were up to 5 years, and later on, the pregnant mothers, they were added into the platform. At that time, 6 antigen were there. So they were covering to prevent 6 diseases. And you will surprised to know that as of now in 2025, we are having near about 12 antigen in the government immunization schedule. So, dear doctors, always we have seen the power of immunization. It has been said that the vaccine do not save lives, it is the vaccination, the process of immunization, the process of inoculation of the antigen into the body and allow the immunogenic response to them so that they will be immunologically protected against a particular disease. So now coming to little basic vaccinology, whenever a pathogen enters, the innate immunity first triggers and it fights for that. But gradually, if it is specific disease-related immunity develops, that is known as adaptive immunity. And this adaptive immunity could be CMI, that is cell-mediated immunity, or could be it is antibody-mediated immunity, which is known as humoral immunity. Considering all intracellular pathogens, particularly all viruses and live organisms, those who are intracellular, for them CMI is the main type of immunity to handle with. The second type, those who are extracellular pathogen, particularly bacteria, so they are due to or they stimulate and they are protected by the humoral immunity, and either it is humoral or CMI, the memory cell, they play a major role. In all bacterial antigen, the immunity goes down, so you need booster for that. So with this note, let's move to the immunization guideline. I'll tell you, the immunization guideline has been decided for the globe by WHO, and CDC, that is for America and rest part of the world. But however, WHO, CDC, all guidelines has been modified as per the country need. For an example, in India, we are having a lot of diseases, including pertussis, including polio. Now polio is no more available. Not there since 2014 because polio has been eradicated from India for last 11 years. So still there are tetanus, still there are diphtheria, still there are other diseases like pneumonia. So we have to prevent all these vaccine preventable disease, and for that reason, Government of India has taken a proactive step since 1985 till now, 30 year or 40 year up the lane. So this robust program which is going on in India, that is the largest immunization program in the globe. And it caters to near about 27 million birth cohorts in India. So this is one of the largest, and we utilize this platform 2 to 8 degrees centigrade cold chain maintenance during COVID, and we have proved this COVID vaccination became one of the largest vaccination, and we have given the indigenous vaccine, that is Covaxin and Covishield, and we protected our population from our India-made vaccine. We have not procured Moderna and Pfizer vaccine from the US. So, in our Government of India portal or Government of Immunization guideline is popularly known as National Immunization Guideline. Now, this NIS for America, NIS for Pakistan, NIS for Sri Lanka, NIS for Bangladesh will be different. So, for our country, so this is updated every year, and whatever latest guideline is there in India to follow, this is 2025 guideline, and you see are the birth dose which is given. They have given importance to inoculate hepatitis B vaccine in order to prevent vertical transmission from mother to child. It has to be given as early as possible within 24 hours. So that is a little a change they have made. Then oral polio vaccine and BCG. BCG universally given to the insertion of the deltoid in the left hand. It is for the conventional and it is for the universal purpose. Then 6, 10, 14, we are using pentavalent, oral polio, then pneumococcal, but not on 10 weeks, then another pneumococcal PCV2, along with that fractional IPV dose 1, fractional IPV dose 2 at 14 weeks. Why we have adopted this 6, 10, 14 weeks, whether this developed world they give 2 months, 4 months and 6 months, only because we cater the evolution or the genesis of the disease do occur at an earlier point of time. So if you give in an early interval, at least 4 weeks interval schedule, so that we can accommodate a lot of babies and we can prevent a lot of death due to VPDs. Then the next connect after that is 9 months, and 9 months we are giving fractional IPV third dose, PCV booster, that is PCV third dose. Then comes JE in JE endemic states, that is JE Japanese encephalitis vaccine. Having said that, the first dose of MR vaccine is given at that point of time. Then we are calling children at 1.5 years, that is for the booster. So that is DPT booster first dose. Then it is given oral polio vaccine, along with that MR second dose and JE second dose, and JE is given in JE endemic areas. 5 year, that is another booster, that is nothing else other than DPT booster. Then 10th year, one booster at TD, and another 16th year, the last and fourth booster of TD is given. So here 2 points I will tell. If you write tetanus toxoid, right now tetanus toxoid has been taken out from the market, and globally the WHO has told that TT has to be converted by TD. It is all because we are interested to eradicate or eliminate diphtheria from the globe. So TT has been converted to TD. Now coming to primary series and booster series. So primary series 6, 10, 14 is known as primary series. Booster series, when you are giving booster, once the antigen induced antibody level goes down, so you have to boost it. So first booster at 1.5, second booster at 5, third booster at 10 years, and fourth booster at 16 years. So once you are giving all these boosters, in between tetanus prophylaxis, diphtheria prophylaxis, pertussis prophylaxis is not needed. Having said that, this program also caters immunization in pregnancy. Any pregnancy, 2 doses of T containing vaccine, and right now TD vaccine has to be given in throughout the pregnancy with 1 month gap. It will prevent maternal tetanus as well as tetanus neonatalum after the baby is born till 6 weeks of life. That is all about this government immunization schedule. Now coming to another schedule we pediatricians follow, that is known as IAP schedule, Indian Academy of Pediatrics schedule. It is otherwise known as ACVIP schedule, Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices. And always remember the basic between this IAP versus government schedule is that government schedule is meant for the community. So that means by and large the community will be benefited, but yes, individual will be benefited, but that is programmed for the community. So once there is good mortality or good prevalence of the disease, then only the government of immunization, NIS, include that antigen into that. But whereas in case of IAP, they caters all the antigen, whatever is available to be given for the best interest of the individual. So there should not be any confusion. In office practice, we are using the best interest of the individual with highest safety, highest efficacy. That is for the individual perspective. But government schedule is for, what can I say, that is for the community perspective. For an example, ACVIP or IAP schedule that says same hepatitis B, OPV, and BCG to be given at birth. Then 16, 14, they say no separate fractional IPV. In office practice, you go for hexavalent, 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 either wholesale or acellular, doesn't matter. Then PCV 1, 2, 3, that is 3 primary series. Then Rota 1, 2, 3, that is 3 doses of Rota to be given. And the same Rota is also given in government immunization schedule as well. 6 months, that is again coming up the patient to the clinic and they get 1 dose of TCV, that is typhoid conjugate vaccine, with 1 dose of flu. Thereafter 1 month, 7 months, another dose of flu is given. Then thereafter flu is given annually till completion of 5 years. Then comes 9-month vaccine. We used to give MMR first dose. Then comes your 1-year vaccine, hepatitis A first dose, that is inactivated one. If we are giving live one, then that is a single dose will be sufficient. Then 15-month MMR second, and we are giving chickenpox first dose. Then if in JE endemic area, you can give 12-month and 13-month, 1 month gap, 2 doses of JE vaccine can be given. Now at 1.5 years, we are giving the pentavalent booster, which does not contain, hepatitis B, and rest DPT, IPV, and HIP component is there. Then chickenpox second dose and the hepatitis A second dose to be given. Thereafter, we are moving directly to the 5-year, and 5-year ACVIP gives importance to the IPV along with DPT, and this is wholesale DPT plus IPV tetra, or there is a brand from Sanofi Tetraxim that will be given. Once the 5th year booster is given, the child is protected till up to 10th year. So now in between TT or pertussis containing vaccine is not needed. So the best vaccine to be given in the 10th year, that is known as adolescent vaccine, is 1 dose of Tdap, IM, and another dose of HPV. Now below 14 years, this human papilloma virus vaccine is given in 2 doses, irrespective of male or female. This is known as gender neutral vaccine. Even male or female, you give 2 doses below 14 years, 0 and 6. And if the age is more than 14 years, then you have to give 3 doses, 0 to 6. And in office practice, there are 2 brands are available. One is indigenous quadrivalent Cervavac from Serum, another is Gardasil 4 from MST, another is Gardasil 9 from MST again. So 9 to 26 years, we are giving Cervavac to both male and female, and the cost is very nominal, that is 2,000 rupees per dose. Now, after that, there is no 16th year vaccine in here, and the ICVIP tells every 10 year decennial vaccine, the TD has to continue every 10th year. If you go ahead like that, beyond 50 years, ICVIP recommends that you have to get 1 dose of PCV 13, and after 65 years, if you have taken 1 dose of PCV, you can get 2 doses of polysaccharide vaccine 5 years apart, that is pneumococcal polysaccharide vaccine. Then it also requests to take 1 dose of herpes zoster vaccine, even if the child had chickenpox or herpes zoster in the past. 2 doses of herpes zoster vaccine to be given, and that is the live attenuated form. And this is known as human recombinant vaccine herpes zoster, 2 doses, 0, 2 to 6. That means 2 doses to be given. And coming to vaccination in pregnancy, it says the first dose to be TD, it will be ended with the Tdap, and 1 dose of flu to be given. That not only decline the burden of flu during pregnancy, but also it gives the flu protection till 6 months in the first 6 months of life. And once you are giving Tdap vaccination towards the end, 27 to 36 weeks of gestation, it is going to prevent pertussis in the mother as well as pertussis in the upcoming baby till 6 weeks of life. And finally, I will give importance TD followed by Tdap and 1 dose of flu. Now in Western countries, the RSV vaccine is also given in order to prevent RSV pneumonia to the mother and as well as to the baby as well. But as of now, the respiratory syncytial virus vaccine is not available in our country. And it also tells about in animal bite, you have to go for anti-rabies vaccine as per the category. If it is category 1, do not forget to wash the wound under the tap water at least for 10 minutes. That is on the soap water, because the lipophilic membrane of the rabies virus will be disintegrated and the virus will be dying. That's the reason the exactly washing of the wound under the tap water by soap and water or detergent can minimize the population of the virus to the great extent, that is by 50%. So that is for animal bite. In first category, when there are injuries are there, scratches and abrasion are there, no oozing of wound, then anti-rabies vaccine 0, 2, 7, 14, 4 doses to be given. IM, if it is a category 3, then in spite of 4 doses of ARV, you have to go with rabies monoclonal antibody or human rabies immunoglobulin in office practice, and that can be given in and around the wound. No amount of antibody to be given intramuscular. So that is about animal bite vaccine. Then comes in sickle cell anemia. If there is vaccination we give, then we have to take care of pneumococcal prevention, we have to take care of meningococcal prevention, we have to give single dose of typhoid if it has not been taken, then finally 1 dose of hip vaccine. Now hip solo is not available. For that reason, in this condition, we can offer 1 dose of hip from acellular component beyond 7 years because the solo hip is not available and we cannot use the other diluent from other sources, so that is not recommended. So that's why in high risk population like asplenia, like sickle cell anemia or hypocomplementemia, this hip, meningococcal, then comes pneumococcal, and finally typhoid vaccine is indicated in all those hyposplenic patients. Now coming to this guideline, whatever I told, that is meant for office practice. So again, I will emphasize in immunization guideline, there are 2 points. One, the government guideline that has to be followed in the government sector, and this IAP guideline has to be followed in the office practice. There must not be any mixture. But anytime a child who is in government can come to office practice, a office practice by default, if he not able to pay, he can go to the government sector. So at no cost, no child should be denied that they are not supposed to get the vaccine from any sector. So remember, doctors, in India, on an average, 91% of the vaccine is given in government sector. Only 9% vaccine is given by general physician, we pediatrician, PSM fellows, and gynecologist, and other super specialty like you can say respiratory medicine, nephrologist. All these combine the 9% of vaccination in our country. So now I will tell you something how you are going to store this vaccine in your office clinic. Always remember, the best way of maintaining vaccine 2 to 8 degrees centigrade is ILR. Every person who gives vaccine must purchase one ILR, and nowadays front door open ILR is also available from the Godrej, the Self-Roast. These are the 2 companies. They take on an average 1 lakh to 1.2 lakhs, and it is worth paying that. And ILR, the holdover time is good, so that's why the vaccines to be kept, all these live vaccines to be kept at the bottom, and the T series vaccine and hepatitis B should be kept at the upper in the front open door of ILR. So now with that note, if you do not maintain the vaccine in cold chain, the vaccine efficacy will be minimal. I mean, it will be lost. So 2 to 8 degrees centigrade is known as lifeline of the vaccine. If we are maintaining this, then definitely efficacy will be there, and you can give. We all have to pay for the vaccine when a vaccinator is giving the vaccine in the clinic, but no one has to pay a single pie in the public sector when he is getting vaccine from the government sector. So that is the basic difference. Then comes, how do you know that this ILR, or if not, purpose-built refrigerator is there? You can request the Godrej company, you can request the Self-Roast. They can manufacture one fridge which is double door and which will be meant for the usage of the vaccine only. So the main thing is that there are digital data loggers are there. So you can put the one end inside, and another end there will be display in the desktop. So that means it will be there in the screen, so you can know how much temperature deviation is there, and they have a memory of past few days, the history of the exposure of the temperature you can know. So there are all vaccines that are live vaccines to be kept at the lower temperature, and all the T series vaccine, hepatitis B vaccine, which is mostly cold sensitive, they should be kept at the little higher temperature. Now, coming to when you are getting any AEFI, adverse event following immunization. We know the adverse event following immunization can be due to product related, can be due to error, immunization error related, can be due to coincidental, can be due to anxiety related. But out of the list, previously it was known as product related, or sometimes it is known as immunization or immunization program related, programmatic error. For an example, by defect, I have used a wrong vaccine to the wrong client, then definitely it is a error. If I have used a diluent of some other vaccine, then it is also error. If I am keeping some other medicine in the fridge or ILR, if I am choosing that diluent wrongly, that will be error. So anything which is mistaken knowingly or unknowingly most likely, so they can give rise to suboptimal efficacy, and it will be totally a fruitless that if you are doing error unknowingly even, but this is coming under the chapter of immunization error. That is the commonest error in office practice. So for that reason, you have to give the vaccine by yourself. Do not allow anyone to give the vaccine so that the patient will be very happy. Then second, if you are giving multiple doses, then always start with the less pain vaccine, then going to the towards a little more pain vaccine. Always remember in office practice, never tell it is a painless vaccine. Now, painless, painful vaccine concept is related to acellular component. So, in office practice, acellular component vaccine, pertussis vaccine, are popularly known as painless vaccine. But always remember, some amount of pain, erythema, even febrile seizure do occur with reason it is always better to tell it is a less pain vaccine than a painless vaccine. So that is my honest request to all of you. Finally, at any point you are getting AEFI, adverse event. So some local reactogenicity like swelling, fever, or sometimes febrile convulsion, whatever is there, you have to manage it. But always remember the serious side effect, which are lethal. One is anaphylaxis. Another is your suppose the cluster of events. If 4 or 5 cases given the same antigen and there is some amount of reaction, then that is cluster of events. Then comes your death. If suppose somebody has died because of the immunization related event or whatever, or disability. Suppose somebody has got Guillain-Barré syndrome or transphospholitis, or hospitalization. Or finally, now there is an entity known as media hype. If all those things are there, immediately it has to be reported to district immunization officer. So those who are practicing vaccine, always you have DIO number. You can intimate then and there so that the process will come and they will know whether it is causally related to the vaccine or not causally related. Information is your job. How to tackle the mob is your art. That nobody in the rescue will come forward to help you. So that is there. Then the big point is that every vaccinator should have AEFI kit in the clinic. So what are the AEFI kit? One, a dose of adrenaline. Because you know the adrenaline IM, intramuscular, undiluted adrenaline has to be given immediately if there is anaphylaxis to occur. How do you know anaphylaxis? There are pulmonary symptoms, there are dermatological symptoms, and there are cardiological symptoms. All those symptoms, if at all it is there, we say it is due to the anaphylaxis. In anaphylaxis, there will be tachycardia. But in case of syncope, who falls down, particularly adolescent boy or girl, because of the injection phobia, they fell down. So there will be just blackout, and there will be bradycardia. And if you lie down and keep the patient or the client in a supine posture for a while, you can offer any normal saline or ORS kind of thing, they will be coming out. That is syncope. So this is one of the mandate that adrenaline has to be there. Second, the 2 ml Dispovan has to be there. Then comes normal saline bottle. Then finally IV intravenous set and oxygen. If all those items are available at your place, then sometimes urticaria, so injection antihistaminic like injection phenylamine maleate, that is Avil. These all things has to be there as a part of a EFI kit. Even if by chance you have not used, but you can tell that immediately I have used this, but in spite of that, the death was not possible to prevent. And it happened because of anaphylaxis. Any vaccine is not 100% safe. Any vaccine can liable to go for anaphylaxis. So you never know, but medically you will be safe if you are having anaphylaxis kit with you. So if I have discussed till now what is the basic mechanism behind the vaccinology, then immunization guideline, Government of India vis-a-vis IAP guideline, then we are using cold chain in our office clinic, then AEFI kit has to be there. If there are serious adverse event like I have already told cluster of event, death, disability or hospitalization or there is a media hype, immediately we have to report within 24 hours to the local district immunization officer. If not, then state immunization officer has to be reported. Any AFI, if you are thinking it is severe enough, so you can report on idsurv.org, that is infectious disease surveillance portal that is innovated by Central IIP, so you can report to that. So in nutshell, I have told you this is the vaccine system which is being running since 1985 till now. So coming to newer vaccine and what are the newer perspective. So I'll tell you that in government portal there is no MMR. In office practice, we are using MMR triple antigen. So mumps component is missing in MR, which is given by the government. So it has been a lot report has been given to the government, including IAP and other IMA, all bodies they have given. There are surge of mumps in the community, and mumps has to be inoculated in or incorporated into MR. So MR inclusion, that means the mumps inclusion into the MR is a need of the hour, and government is convinced, but I don't know the prioritize. They are giving more priority towards HPV vaccine rolling out in our country rather than mumps inclusion. But this has been told to them, and it will take some time. Now, second part, the new thing is that Government of India has already been promised that HPV will be rolled out in the NIP. First, they will target 9 to 14 years, single dose of HPV vaccine. And I will tell, single dose of HPV vaccine is to the tune of 95 to 98% efficacious, and that single dose is going to prevent from HPV infection. So remember, this HPV infection causes cervical cancer in girls or women. It also causes the genital cancer, that means vulval cancer, vaginal cancer, anal cancer, and oropharyngeal cancer. Not only that, it also causes some cancer in the male as well, oropharyngeal cancer, penile cancer, anal cancer in the male. So in order to prevent, there are multiple cancers in both male and female. Now government is telling, everybody is telling, CDC is telling, WHO is telling that HPV is a neutral, gender neutral vaccine. Any age, I mean 9 years onwards, that means in an appropriate age, this has to be given to both boys and girls. So that is the reason government is interested to roll out serum vaccine, that is Sarvavac, in a combo pack, that 4-dose combo, to the all places. So they are planning to roll out this in a phased manner, taking few pilot states, and thereafter they will be including Pan India and all union territories. It will be rolled over in the Pan India, just like MR campaign it has been done. So first they will be giving all those who are giving 9 to 14 years, all girls will be taken care, beneficiary, and thereafter it will be included into the 9th year or 10th year vaccine along with the TD. So this is the newer thing which is going to happen very shortly, maybe towards the end of this 2025, it is going to happen. Last but not the least, government is very proactive to inoculate 1 dose of typhoid conjugate vaccine. May not be given at 6 months, may not be given at 9 months. It has to be given, or they are thinking to be inoculated at the age of 1.5 years. Though there are data are there that the typhoid can happen below 1.5 years, but still then the percentage wise the most important age by which the typhoid happens, that means 2 to 6 years. So before that 1.5 year will be the ideal site or ideal time. This no extra visit will be there, and typhoid vaccine single dose, that is TCV, can be included. So with this, I have already told all the vaccines whatever is available, and that has to be given to each and every client whatever we want. Now 2 or 3 line on newer vaccine. One vaccine I will tell you, meningococcal vaccine, which is given in high risk population, and this meningococcal vaccine in high risk population beyond 2 years we are offering 2 doses 8 weeks apart. So that has to be thought. In sickle cell anemia or asplenia, if you diagnose early at the age of 9 months, we are using this 2-dose schedule. Then again 3 months apart it can be given. So beyond 2 years also 2-dose schedule, 3 months apart. So that you have to remember. Second, any child who has already developed varicella, not a candidate to take varicella vaccine. So that's the reason. If there is classical history of varicella in the past, the varicella vaccine never to be offered. Theoretically, hepatitis A can be a entity. Asymptomatic hepatitis A infection can occur up to 10 years. So that means 50% every alternate child might have acquired this infection. So prior antibody testing, the theoretically is referred to. But however, in office practice, it is always better to go to the vaccine, inactivated one or live one, Even if the child had that infection in the past, it will not cause any added AEFI to that patient. So coming to that, again, animal bite, the more importance is given that in category 3, even if a small drop of blood is coming out, always remember the wound dressing under the tap water, it can minimize with the soap and water, it can minimize the population of the virus to the great extent, maybe 50% lower. And any oozing of the blood, even if it is one drop, it will be treated as category 3. Any immunocompromised host having category 2 will be treated as category 3. So if after 3 months of any post-exposure prophylaxis, if the child comes with re-exposure, only 2 doses of 0 and 3, 2 doses of rabies vaccine has to be given. No need of anti-rabies immunoglobulin or monoclonal antibody in the subsequent exposure. So with that note, if I am telling that vaccination, the newer horizon, which is there in pipeline, that again, RSV is a new entity and it has to be included mostly in the pregnancy first. Then it is recommended beyond 60 years, it can be given. Now RSV will be useful vaccine for the newer age group or for the lower age group. So that day has yet not come. Now coming to new upcoming vaccine, malaria vaccine. Now malaria vaccine, Mosquirix, this has been already being rolled over in the African population. So Mosquirix and this vaccine they have given at the age of this primary with booster series. But however, that vaccine may take time. There is Serum Institute of India Limited, which is the largest manufacturer of this vaccine antigen, and they are supplying lot of doses to the third world countries, and particularly they supply a lot of antigen, MR antigen, meningococcal antigen, hepatitis A antigen to the African countries. So finally, I must take that after knowing all those inoculation and everything, always remember if there are cases of last immunization. What do you mean by last immunization? If the child comes at a later age, that means a child of 10 years who has not taken chickenpox vaccine in the past, came for chickenpox vaccine, then definitely you have to give 2 doses. That means 2 doses 3 months apart. So this is the way, and this is known as catch-up immunization. So catch-up immunization, those who are lapsed, so on them at that point of time, you can decide how many doses, what interval that you have to decide and inoculate to the client. Now, if you have missed, suppose for an example, a 9 to 14-year girl has taken 1 dose of HPV vaccine at the age of 9 years, but forgotten to the second year vaccine now came at the age of 18 years. So now at the age of 18 years, you remember that the second dose, which has been to be given before 14 years, now you give the second dose, no need of giving third dose, even if the age is 18, because the vaccine 1 dose has been given below 14 years. So 2 dose schedule has to be given and 1 dose has to be given at 18 years, and that will be the final dose. So do not restart the schedule. That means if the child has taken primary or whatever number of doses, you count that and remaining doses has to be given. So that is the science behind vaccinology. If you forget, I forget, or anybody forget, but the body's immune system rarely forget. So that's why you have to go for this booster. I mean not booster, the remaining doses to be given. Do not restart the schedule. Now coming to a switchover vaccine. That means once you are started with brand A, then brand B can be switched over. Yes, but circumstantially yes, but truly not. If you know the first brand, then definitely it is always better to continue the same brand in the subsequent series. But if that vaccine is not available, or by chance you yourself is not having that stock, so you can alternate with any stock. That means any recommended vaccine, whatever is there, you can offer to the patient. Now, ethics. What is ethics? Some points on ethics, because this medical ethics has to be propagated to deliver the best to the patient. So here, what is there? Doctor, patient, and what is action? So doctor is doing some action for the benefit of the patient. So action here is vaccination. So there must be good benefit to the patient because the patient is paying to you. See, the onus lies on you that you decide whatever best has to be given, but you ventilate that this is the vaccine. There are two types of PCV vaccine available. One is serum indigenous serum, that means that vaccine, whichever is there, that is Pneumocil, and another vaccine is PCV13, which is double the cost. It is 4,000 and that is 2,500. So, however, for a country like India, if you can affordable, you can choose this, or else this is equally good. So that means the main message has to be given. If we are using HPV, so the myth has to be taken out that it is the vaccine to be given to the girls and we should not. And the mothers, those who are above 25 years or 30 years, even if they have given birth to one or two child, if they have not taken HPV vaccine, it is the time to inoculate HPV antigen to them till 45 years. But at that point of time, more than 26 years, one brand can be offered, that is Gardasil 4. So this Gardasil 4 is recommended from 9 years to 45 years. So 3-dose schedule 0 to 6 can be offered to them. So I have told you the last immunization. Then coming to what is the importance of booster. Any child who has taken primary series in the first year, that means government gives that any child who has taken birth dose 16, 14 and 9-month vaccine is known as a completely immunized child. But exactly the child has to take 1.5-year booster, has to take 5th-year booster. If you do not boost it, they are again unimmunized regarding the DPT antigen is concerned. So my importance is that do not underestimate the booster, because it has been seen in Indian scenario, pan-Indian or national wise, that the first year take-up is very good to the tune of 96 to 97%. And it goes down towards 50% for the first year, even less, that is near about 20% for the second booster, and third booster it is almost less than 10. And this graph goes down that. And everybody thinks that vaccination means polio, so they corollary, they tell that we are going to take the polio from the government or hospital. So the synonym, the immunization process as polio doesn't matter, but we have to know the child must be having all these boosters, has to be inoculated, because long-term protection has to be given. So the day is not far where before the school entry, there may be a necessity, just like developed countries. So they may see your vaccination chart. If you have not up to date, if you have not completed the necessary vaccine to be offered for the betterment of the client and the teachers in the school, and you cannot disseminate the viral or the bacterial infection to the other sibling, so it has to be taken care. And that is the reason that any last immunization has to be completed before school entry. So that is not mandated, but still then many English medium school or many corporate school in many areas or many cities across India, they have adopted that there must be a checklist before entry into the school. So that at the entry, there must be 1.5-year and 5-year booster has to be completed, then only they can enter into that. So coming to travelers vaccine, the last part, once we are going to travel African countries, so we have to take yellow fever vaccine, because yellow fever vaccine doesn't exist in India because we don't have yellow fever. So once you are planning to enter into yellow fever endemic zone, so you must take yellow fever vaccine, which is a single dose live attenuated vaccine, and it has to be given after 9 months, single dose. So who will give? Where you get it? This vaccine is not available in private sector. So you have to get this vaccine where the hospital or the airport is authorized by Airport Authority of India Limited. So you have to go there and take a certificate and upload the certificate in a visa portal. Then only you get a visa to enter into African country. So there is another vaccine, meningococcal vaccine, because you are traveling to the meningitis belt, the mid part of the Africa, then meningococcal vaccine has to be given. If you are entering into the northeast part of the India, sometimes you need JE vaccine. So this JE vaccine, to complete the schedule, you have to go with the 2 doses 1 month apart, and you can go for that before entering into the JE prone area. So you never know that your adjacent area is declared by JE, by government, that JE endemic or not, doesn't matter. People are now, they are mobile from one state to another, one country to another. So definitely at any point of time, you can be exposed to this Japanese encephalitis viruses by the mosquito bite. So definitely you have to think that this vaccine has to be given so that you can protect the child from the AES, because the commonest cause of AES in Indian scenario is JE. Thereafter it comes the mumps virus, there is vaccine against that is there. Then comes your you can say respiratory viruses, adenovirus or sometimes enteroviruses. All those viruses can cause AES, acute encephalitis syndrome. So with this note, we are telling that whenever you are giving any vaccine, you document it, you note it, so that by the next time you will be clear that this vaccine has already been given and this vaccine in pipeline has to be given. So I must tell, this vaccination is updated science. What I have told to you may not be true for the next moment. So anytime you should have update your knowledge by attending CME webinar, and you can say that the physical meet, wherever it is there, if you have time, at least you can adjust the time and be a part of the CME program. So once you are attending CME, one line of wisdom from the expert is equivalent to 1,000 pages of a book. So that's why never miss out to attend a webinar or a seminar or attending physically the workshop. So that will give rise to you immense help in your brain, and because of that you can deliver the best service to the children of India. So for that reason, Presidential Action Plan current president, our SEBA, I mean the IAP president, Dr. Basant Kalatkar, so he has rolled out vaccinology program across the country, and now we are going to have one program in the month of Baleshwar. I mean, in the month of July, we are having one program of vaccinology module, and thereafter the Adolescent Health Academy is a subchapter of IAP. They are also planning to have a module on adolescent immunization. So that immunization, that write-up will be there, and the adolescent immunization schedule has to be made. So in adolescent, the top one vaccine is Tdap. Then the next vaccine is your HPV. The third vaccine in the adolescent vaccine is typhoid. Then comes your MMR. Then comes your varicella. Then comes your that means if you have not given J vaccine, you can think of J vaccine, one dose of typhoid conjugate vaccine as the need of the hour at this age. And you have to know that the vaccination landscape is big, and there are multiple vaccines are in pipeline. One of them is Takeda not 3 vaccine, which is popularly known as Q-Denga. And this Q-Denga has a backbone of Den 2, and over and above the Den 1, Den 3, and Den 4, it is a quadrivalent vaccine. And this vaccine has to be given from 4 years to onwards. So that means 4 year onwards or 5th year onwards, this vaccine has to be given. Though the licensor has been given for 6 year onwards, but this vaccine has been studied well in the 4 year onwards. And we are hoping that this vaccine can be rolled out in our country, because the Q-Denga is a Takeda-based company. They are very much aggressive to give this vaccine to be rolled out in the end of 2025 or the beginning of the 2026. So when this dengue vaccine will be there, it will be a game changer. And now pan world is at a threat because of the dengue, and the malaria incidences has gone down. So with that note, I will say, if there are any questions are there, then definitely please put into the chat box. I'll be happy to take few questions. So Sriyan is there from IJCP, and I have told you all aspect in nutshell in 360 degree about the immunization in children, the landscape on immunization guideline, AEFI, then common side effect. All those things I have discussed in length. Remember before leaving that IAP guideline is for the individual, and the government immunization guideline is for the community. So at the best interest of the individual, you can offer any vaccine you like. And for that reason, even if you are offering meningococcal vaccine, those who are able to pay, is not a crime, is not a undoable thing. So that means always we say, if you are not practicing vaccinology, at least let us send those clients to the person who is giving vaccinology. So finally, I must tell 4D approach. One is diet recall of the patient, what diet is giving, whether nutritionally rich food is giving or not. Then comes your diet development, whether your child is developmentally okay or not. Nowadays, we are seeing the child is very much hyperactive, and he is busy in himself, not able to eye connect, not able to speak well. So they are the cases of autism. So early intervention, right time, right occupational therapy is the answer to bring back them to the normal stream. So this is development. Then another D, what the drugs is the child is taking, whether it is a 7 month, 8 month implant. So your job is to give vitamin D, 400 IU daily till the 12, 36 weeks. Till 1 year of age. This type of thing, whatever we are giving, so we are educating them that whenever we are thinking anything to be offered, that is to be offered on a scientific basis. So finally, whatever new vaccine and whatever is there, then it will be first has to be taken up by the private market. Then only after efficacy, post-vaccine surveillance, the post-marketing surveillance, that is the phase 4 trial, whichever is there, we are party to that. So always remember, even if it is minor AFA, you are accustomed with this. You can give comfort by application of the ice to the local site, and finally you can go for this paracetamol business, but never ever give prophylactic paracetamol even after you are using wholesale pertussis. So this is a dynamic subject. In India, we are following IAP guideline. We are following NCDC guideline. That is NCDC New Delhi. That is for Odisha. This guideline we are following. So having said that, already the Indian population is at tense, because at times we cannot believe Pakistan for it did. But however, there was a ceasefire after 3 days, so which is a welcomeable thing. And I must thank each and every doctors, in spite of their busy schedule, they have logged in, and I tried my level best to give a concise concept regarding immunization in India. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. It is over to Sriyan from IJCP. If there are any questions are there, you can put on, and I will try to solve that. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such wonderful discussion. We do have some question from our audience. So, sir, the first question is, what role do RNA vaccine currently plays in pediatric immunization, and what are the future prospects?
Yes, RNA vaccine is a type of vaccine which is a new innovative idea, and it has came into the market when COVID has come. So this is known as mRNA. So we are giving mRNA vaccine instead of the protein, and this mRNA remaining outside the nucleus, it has potency to convert mRNA into its many copies, and these copies will be transforming their message and forming the ideal protein. And these proteins, they go and secreted as IgA antibody into the local site. They do not allow the virus to attach. So this technology is mRNA, and there is another technology known as DNA. So in mRNA technology, as of now, we have used the efficacy of Pfizer and Moderna vaccine. Both of them were mRNA technology, and that has been US made. America made vaccine, but the minus point was that it has to be kept in a minus temperature. The Pfizer vaccine has to be kept in minus 60 degree, and the mRNA Moderna vaccine has to be kept in minus 20. But I have told you, India is such a populous country, having 148 crore population, but our immunization system is adjusted with 2 to 8 degrees centigrade. So giving an adjustment for minus 20, minus 60 degrees centigrade will be hell and heaven affair for us, and we could have utilized the total momentum towards the minus degree centigrade. So that was never possible, and that's the reason within no time, immediate use authorization made those vaccines by Bharat Biotech and Serum. Serum prepared in collaboration with AstraZeneca UK, that is the Covishield, and Bharat Biotech with your technology, indigenous technology, they have prepared Covaxin. And these are not mRNA vaccine, but they did the wonderful job. 98% of the vaccine, whatever used in Indian platform, is Covishield, and rest of the vaccine were used by Covaxin and some US-based vaccine, adenoviral vector vaccine, but doesn't make. So mRNA is an upcoming newer methodology vaccine. I don't know, in coming years, some other this technology may be adapted towards so many newer antigen, and there is a hope, because already we experienced mRNA vaccine has been used globally by US. So that's about mRNA vaccine.
Thank you, sir. There is one last question. What are the major barriers to achieve full immunization coverage in children under 5 in rural and urban area?
It's a good question. It is a real evidence-based question that to achieve immunization coverage, we need many things. One, I'll tell you the accessibility of the vaccination to the door point. Now, I'll tell you there are many unreachable pockets are there on the hilltop. In the hilltop, there are 5 or 6 tribal community states. Now there is no system to take the vaccine to inoculate them. If you call them, they will never call. They will never come. So inapproachable area or inaccessible area should be made approachable first. Then only our Anganwadi worker, our Asa Didi, our ANM, they will reach to the point. So that is first point. Second point, there is literacy. If they are illiterate, sometimes they will not tell, because there are many myths are running in social media that if you take MR vaccine, you will be impotent. You cannot have produce child in the long run after marriage. So many things are there. So that means the myth is traveling and it is prevailing in the community. So everybody should be literate, not believing the social media messages which are wrong. So going to the sanctity, going to the purity, going to the authenticity of the news, then only you can go forward. Sometimes I know that HPV vaccine, the girls were not interested. But nowadays, after knowing that this is the preventable cancer, and every year 70,000 women, they die in our India due to cervical cancer. And if it is rolled over in the immunization schedule, that all the girls 9 to 14 years, if they take at least one dose of the HPV vaccine, we can prevent 70,000 women death per year due to cervical cancer. So this needs proactiveness. But government is giving, if our daughters are not going, our mothers are not taking their daughters to the portal, who will give the vaccine? So that is the second. Third, there are vaccine hesitancy. There are many things, many people, they think that is by default of, they say, suppose in Odisha, I'll tell you, the core Lord Jagannath, everybody believe Lord Jagannath. So sometimes some devoted people, they will think that they will not suffer from any disease. So what is the point of taking all those vaccines? This is giving pain, so there will be swelling, so they cannot go to the work, they cannot worship the God for coming 5 days after the vaccine. So this is known as hesitation. The hesitation may be due to ritual, may be due to the pressure from the God or belief, the firm belief, or you can say negative beliefs in them. So they are vaccine hesitancy. And finally, the cost. If it is not there in the government schedule, if suppose somebody is going to pay, for an example, meningococcal vaccine, it is costing 4,500. Now, this 4,500, those who are high risk, they are not able to pay. So, if it is accessible to all, that means in US, UK, and Australia and China, what they are doing? The vaccination for all. So, that means that is available. If you are a resident of that country, you are mandated to take the vaccine, and the vaccine cost is taken up by this what you say life insurance companies. So life insurance companies will pay for that. So you are paying to the insurance company, and insurance company pay to the government. So that type of situation has to be made, the vaccination for all. So they are the hindrance in the 100% coverage of the vaccine in the community. But however, I'll tell you the beautiful part is that in first year, every baby born in India right now taking a vaccine within 24 hours, if the baby is okay, vitally okay, baby is breathing okay, heart rate is okay, good weight, so definitely they are running for the vaccine. 6, 10, 14 weeks, the 9-month vaccine, the take-up is to the tune of 96 to 98%. But this percentage goes down because at 1.5 years, the memory doesn't stay in a illiterate mother. So she forget about that the vaccine is needed at 1.5. If she has taken, she forget about there is a vaccine at 5 years. Now 5 years, they forget about there is a vaccine at 10 years. If 10 years, they forget about there is a vaccine at 16 years. So that's the reason. If it is given at a gap, the memory goes away in our population. So that's the reason. So the vaccination coverage, it is the wonderful thing the government of India has made. I have salute to government of India proactiveness. They have started a mission Indradhanush. This mission Indradhanush, they have included any child up to 2 years. If they have not taken any vaccine, they have left any vaccine, they will catch them and they will give and offer the vaccine. How beautiful is that? So our Anganwadi, our Asa Didi, our ANMs, they go to doorstep and find out if there is a kid below 2 years and the vaccine is not up to date. So they will give the vaccine and up to date the child. So this is a proactiveness. So beyond that, it is not possible because India is the highest populous country. It has surpassed the population of China. But still then, there must be a will from inside. So if a child who is not giving a will, which has not been inculcated into their brain or into their attitude, so nobody can give 100% immunization in the community. So to take good coverage, There are many powers are there. It is one, the good education. It is there, the system will reach there, the good accessibility, and outreach pockets has to be made rich, so that the our vaccinators, they can go to with a vaccine box, go to the field site, they can inoculate the antigen. And finally, I will tell you, all the vaccines should be available in government sector so that the coverage will go up. So I'll tell you, me, everybody know that there is a typhoid vaccine. But how many of us has taken one typhoid dose? So that we go to road street and take golgappa, we take chaat, we take many foods outside, and that is the cause of viral hepatitis and dysentery and so many things. So that means if typhoid vaccine is available, jaundice vaccine is available, but still then knowing literacy. So I'll tell you a one line. There are two lines I want to tell at the end to my all listeners. One, gone those days when vaccine was made for the kids. Now vaccination is for all ages. Now you see COVID vaccine first started with 65 year plus. Then it has to be given 40 to 45 to 40 to 65. Then 18 to 45. Then less than 18 and more than 12. So the vaccine started from the older population. It has come down to the lower. And in India, nobody has got vaccine when the age was less than 12 years. So it is a mandate vaccine for the older population, because they can die because of the vaccine preventable disease. So it is a vaccination for all ages. It is not meant for only pregnancy, or not meant for only children, or not meant for those who are having HIV or those who are having any disease. No, it is a vaccination for all. So it is a universal approach to the vaccine, number one. Number two, it is your proactiveness. You have to find out at this what vaccine has to be there. Suppose you want to visit Misr or Cairo tomorrow. No country of that African country will allow you to enter into that unless and until you give a passport, I mean certificate of yellow fever vaccine. Why? Because you are entering into a yellow fever zone. So now African is a documented yellow fever zone. We are from India, so we are entering. We may die of yellow fever. So that's why the thing is that yellow fever. Suppose somebody is coming from yellow fever zone. Now India will not allow unless and until they are protected by a yellow fever vaccine. So overseas, there is a policy that whoever, suppose Pakistan is having polio now. So if I want to enter into Pakistan, I have to take 2 drops of polio or one sort of polio injection. Otherwise, I can't enter. If suppose somebody is coming from Pakistan harboring polio right now, in Pakistan and Afghanistan are the two countries when polio is endemic as of now. India is declared polio free by WHO. So whoever is coming from Pakistan and Afghanistan should have got a certificate of polio immunization. That means 2 drops of polio or one sort of IPV. Then only other countries beyond them will allow them to their countries, so that our country will not have one polio virus which is being transmitted or transferred from their country to us. So this is the best way. So the question was, how will you increase vaccine coverage? So it is a multifactorial approach. There must be literacy update. There must be the outreach pockets should be reaching to the site. Third, the willingness. If nobody is willing, suppose you deny. Now Sian is sitting before me, in front of me. She will deny I will not take HPV vaccine. So which government sector or which doctor will go and give knowingly or forcefully? We cannot give any vaccine forcefully to a human. It goes against the right of an individual. So that means you must know at any point I may suffer from cervical cancer. That is disaster. I am a woman. I must protect myself with the HPV vaccine. If you are proactive, if the knowledge is there, then definitely you can take up. And for that reason, I will tell you, we have requested Serum Institute. Now Serum Institute 2 days back, they have done 5 zones: East Zone, North Zone, South Zone, West Zone, and Central Zone. 5 zones in India, and in them there is a TV. One half an hour to 1 hour discussion will be there on propagation of HPV for the girls first in that zone, and it is being circulated in their language, local language. Suppose it started in Guwahati, so Assamese language. Then it will be there in my place, Odia. It will be Odia. Then West in Hindi. So like that. So some messages has to be disseminated to the public by IEC activities, information, education, and communication. If it is there through media, if it is there through TV, if it is there through audio, I mean FM, radio, or whatever, then definitely the message can reach to each and every body inside our country, and the vaccine coverage will go up. This much I wanted to say.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. Thank you for taking all our question. You have covered all the sections, sir, totally. And thank you so much that you have spared your time for this session, sir.
Right,
Thank
right,
you.
right. Thank you so much, Sian, for nice moderation. I always happy because two platforms I am very active. One is IJCP and another is Clanet. So Clanet never leave me, and neither IJCP leave me without taking at least one session in a month. That is the rate, and sometimes it goes two, three as well. So I am honored that you always in your priority you are keeping me as a expert to at any point of time, any session, I am always there. Even if I have not prepared well, I mean, not this PPDs, but still then I tried my level best to cover all aspect of this landscape of immunization and its need and its the future, whatever the vaccines are there in the pipeline. So I thought or I think I have justified the topic title and I am giving my best. So it is again a big thanks to all the listeners or doctors, those who have joined today, and my heartfelt thanks to Sriyan and IJCP team total. Jai Jagannath.
Thank you so much, sir. It's our pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, yes.